This is so much fun. Here comes Andy Pandy in Andy Pandy Land.
Looby Loo was so pleased with the biscuits she just baked, she invited Andy Pandy to taste them. Andy was going to ask Looby for another biscuit when they heard a bird singing outside. It was singing so beautifully they wanted to see the bird. But when they looked outside, it had flown away. Looby had an idea. She thought that if they put some of her biscuits outside, the bird might fly down to eat them, and they'd be able...
A flower, a lily pad, or an apple. A lily pad, of course!
to see it. They went home to wait for the bird to find the biscuits. But Teddy had come out for a walk, and he found the biscuits. He was sure nobody would mind if he tried one, and he was sure nobody would mind if he tried the other one. Andy and Looby waited all morning and all afternoon, but the bird who'd sung so beautifully didn't come back. Teddy wondered where Andy and Looby had been all day. Now he'd found them. He told them all about the tasty biscuits he'd found on the picnic table. At last, Andy and Looby knew why the bird hadn't flown down to eat the biscuits. Teddy wanted to know why Andy and Looby were looking so sad, so Andy told him about the bird and the biscuits they'd left out for it. Teddy was sorry he'd eaten the biscuits.
M. Whistle. Wet your whistle.
Right next.
L. Green piece.
Right next.
K. Doorway. Foot in the door.
Right next.
N. Message in a bottle.
Right next.
O. Tap on the shoulder.
You're right!
But they had been very tasty. Andy told Bilbo all about the bird and its beautiful song, and Bilbo said that if they got up as early in the morning as he did, they'd hear the beautiful singing of the dawn chorus when all the birds wake up and sing to each other. They all agreed they'd get up at dawn the very next day. The next morning, Looby Loo was still asleep when the sun came up, and Andy Pandy was still asleep, and Teddy was still asleep as well. Bilbo had been waiting for a very long time. But when Andy, Looby and Teddy finally arrived, Bilbo had to tell them that they'd slept so late that they'd missed the dawn chorus. He said that if they wanted to hear the dawn chorus next day, they should try an old trick he'd learned at sea. Before they went to bed, they must each tie one end of a very long string to one of their feet and hang the other end over the playground gate. Then at dawn, Bilbo would tug the strings to wake them all. Tiffo often liked to go for a stroll as soon as it was dark. And when he saw the strings, he thought they must be a toy, so he started to play with them. Now Andy, Looby and Teddy were all awake. Tiffo had finished his game and gone home, so there was no one there to tell them it was still early in the night, and it would be many, many hours until dawn. They wondered where Bilbo was and settled down to wait for him. But they were all very tired, and it wasn't long before they were fast asleep. Many, many hours later, Bilbo came out to wake Andy, Looby and Teddy. He was surprised to see they were up already.
On the potting shed, on the stable, or on the twisty tree? On the twisty tree! That's right! Come on!
And he was even more surprised to see they were all fast asleep. No matter how hard he tried, Bilbo just could not wake them to hear the bird's dawn chorus. So he blew his ship's whistle. They all woke up. The whistle was very loud. But none of them could hear the dawn chorus. The ship's whistle had driven all the birds away. Everyone was very sorry to have missed the dawn chorus once again, but Looby invited them home for an early breakfast. They were tucking into Looby's breakfast when they heard a beautiful sound. It was the song of the bird Andy and Louie had heard the other day. This time, Andy could see the bird. It was only a small brown bird, but that didn't matter because it sang such a beautiful song.